If you've ever wondered why saying an affirmation sometimes feels powerful and convincing, and other times feels completely hollow, like you're just repeating empty words, the answer might have less to do with the affirmation itself, and more to do with exactly when you're saying it. Today, I want to walk you through what actual research on brain states tells us, alongside what Neville Goddard specifically taught about timing. Because when you combine both, you get a genuinely clear answer to a question most people never think to ask. Let's start with the science side of this, because it's worth understanding what's actually happening in your brain at different points throughout the day. Your brain moves through different states of activity, often measured through brainwave patterns. During most of your normal waking hours, your brain operates predominantly in what's called beta wave activity, a state associated with alert, analytical, logical thinking. This is useful for problem solving and daily tasks, but it also means your conscious, critical mind is highly active, which makes it much easier for doubt, skepticism, and logical objections to interfere with anything you're trying to consciously affirm. As you get drowsy, right before falling asleep, and again briefly as you're waking up, your brain naturally shifts into different patterns, alpha and theta waves, associated with a more relaxed, less critically engaged state of consciousness. Sleep researchers refer to the specific transitional period right before sleep as the hypnagogic state, and the corresponding period right after waking as the hypnopompic state. Both of these windows are well documented in sleep research as periods where the analytical, critical functions of the conscious mind are naturally reduced, while the mind remains receptive to imagery, suggestion, and impression in a way that differs meaningfully from full waking alertness. This is genuinely useful information on its own, but it becomes even more interesting when you look at what Neville Goddard taught decades before this research became more widely documented and studied. He specifically identified this same drowsy, pre-sleep period as the ideal time for working with imagination and affirmation, calling it the state akin to sleep. He taught that this relaxed, less resistant state made it far easier to impress a new feeling or belief onto your subconscious mind, precisely because the usual critical, questioning barrier your conscious mind puts up throughout the day is naturally reduced during this specific window. Let's talk about why this alignment between documented sleep research and Neville's teaching matters so much practically. If you say an affirmation during a fully alert, analytical state, in the middle of a busy afternoon, while your mind is actively engaged in beta wave activity, you're essentially trying to plant a new belief directly into a mental environment that's simultaneously equipped and inclined to critically evaluate, question, and potentially reject that same belief. Your analytical mind might immediately respond with counter-arguments, evidence from your current circumstances, past experiences that contradict the affirmation, this happening quickly enough that you might not even consciously notice the internal resistance occurring. Compare this to saying the same affirmation during that drowsy, pre-sleep window. With your analytical mind naturally quieter, there's simply less internal resistance, actively working against the impression you're trying to create. This doesn't mean logical thought disappears entirely, but the intensity and immediacy of critical, doubtful response tends to be significantly reduced, giving whatever feeling or belief you're deliberately cultivating a genuinely better chance of settling in, without being immediately challenged or dismissed. Let's also address the period right after waking, because Neville placed real emphasis here too. Alongside the pre-sleep window. In that first minute or two after waking, before you've fully engaged with the day, before you've checked your phone or started thinking about your schedule, your mind is still transitioning out of that same relaxed, less critically active state. This makes it another valuable window for the same kind of practice. Briefly settling into a specific feeling or affirmation before your analytical mind fully engages with the demands of the day ahead. I want to be clear about something important here. This doesn't mean affirmations said during other times of day are completely useless or worthless. Neville himself acknowledged that consistent practice throughout the day, along with maintaining a generally positive, aligned state, still matters. But if you're specifically looking to maximize the effectiveness of a focused affirmation practice, the evidence from both sleep research and Neville's teaching points toward the same conclusion. These two specific windows, right before sleep and right after waking, offer a genuine advantage that fully alert daytime states simply don't provide in the same way. Let's talk about what this actually looks like in practice, because understanding the timing is only useful if you know how to actually apply it well. As you're getting into bed and starting to feel that natural drowsiness set in, rather than reaching for your phone or letting your mind wander into replaying the day's events, this is the window to deliberately bring your attention to your chosen affirmation or feeling. Rather than repeating it mechanically, you want to actually feel the truth of it, letting your naturally relaxed state make that genuine feeling more accessible than it might be during a busier, more alert part of your day. The same principle applies in the morning. Rather than immediately grabbing your phone the moment you wake up, which pulls your mind quickly into full alertness and external input, staying in that drowsy state for even just a minute or two longer, and using that window to settle into your affirmation or desired feeling, takes advantage of that same naturally reduced critical resistance before the day's demands and stimulation fully engage your analytical mind. I also want to address something practical about affirmation quality itself, because timing alone isn't the only factor that matters here. Even during these ideal windows, an affirmation said flatly, without any genuine feeling behind it, still carries significantly less power than one said with real emotional engagement. The reduced critical resistance during these specific times makes genuine feeling more accessible, but it doesn't automatically create that feeling for you if you're simply repeating words mechanically, without actually engaging with them. Timing creates a more favorable internal environment, but the quality of feeling you bring within that environment still genuinely matters. Let's talk about consistency here too, because a single well-timed affirmation session, while potentially helpful, tends to work best as part of a repeated, ongoing practice rather than an occasional attempt. Using these two windows consistently, right before sleep and right after waking, day after day, allows the impression you're creating to build and reinforce itself over time, rather than relying on a single, isolated session to produce significant, lasting change on its own. I want to mention something else worth understanding here, which is that these specific timing windows are relatively brief, typically just a few minutes at most before you either fully wake up or actually fall asleep. This means the practice itself doesn't need to be lengthy or elaborate to be effective. A brief, genuinely felt affirmation or moment of settling into a desired feeling, held for just a minute or two during these windows, tends to be far more valuable than an extended, distracted session attempted during a fully alert part of your day. Let's also touch on something practical regarding disruption, during these specific windows, because protecting them matters just as much as knowing when they occur. If your evening routine involves scrolling through your phone right up until the moment you fall asleep, you're likely missing this natural pre-sleep window entirely, filling it instead with external stimulation rather than deliberate internal practice. Similarly, if you reach for your phone the instant you open your eyes in the morning, you're cutting that post-waking window short before you've had a genuine chance to use it intentionally. I want to be honest about something here too. This doesn't mean you need to achieve some kind of perfect meditative state during these windows for the practice to have value. You don't need complete silence, complete stillness, or hours of preparation. The natural drowsiness that occurs as you're falling asleep, or the natural grogginess right after waking, is itself sufficient. These states occur automatically as part of your normal sleep cycle. You simply need to consciously use those few minutes intentionally, rather than letting them pass by unused or immediately filled with external input. So here's how you can actually apply this tonight and tomorrow morning. As you're getting into bed and feel that natural drowsiness beginning before reaching for your phone, take a few minutes to bring your attention to a specific affirmation or feeling you want to cultivate, allowing yourself to genuinely feel its truth rather than simply repeating words mechanically. Then tomorrow morning, before checking your phone or fully engaging with the day, stay in that drowsy, waking state for just a minute or two longer, using that same window to settle into that same feeling once more, letting the natural reduced resistance of both states support the genuine emotional engagement you're trying to create. I want to leave you with this final thought. So much of affirmation practice focuses purely on what you say, the specific words, the specific phrasing, while largely ignoring when you say it. But both documented sleep research and Neville Goddard's teaching point toward the same conclusion. Timing genuinely matters, not because certain hours hold some kind of magic, but because your brain's natural state during these specific windows creates a genuinely more receptive environment for whatever feeling or belief you're deliberately trying to cultivate. Tonight, before you fall asleep, and tomorrow, right as you wake up, try using those few naturally available minutes intentionally, and notice whether the affirmations you're already practicing start to feel different. Not because the words changed, but because you finally gave them the right moment to actually take hold.